Hi again. This is the last part of a test of courage. Once again, be warned there are mentions of some semi-scary injuries. Also, I do not own the Haikyuu characters and this does not accurately represent the Haikyuu characters. Hope you enjoy the video, with Sakuatsu, Osamu, and Matsuhana. Hang on. Osamu and Sakuatsu had moved to the opposite sides of the cave as they hung on to the rocks near them. Matsuhana was too busy yelling at them to make it to some place he could hang on to. The wave came at them quickly as they all took in a deep breath. Sakuatsu and Osamu were pushed roughly against the walls as Matsuhana was pushed off his feet and further towards the entrance. Matsuhana grabbed onto the ground before he got dragged back with the wave. It's gone. You two still alive? Matsuhana looked behind him and watched as Osamu slumped down against the cave wall, as Sakuatsu held his chest in pain. You two okay? Matsuhana was about to get up and rush to them as he realized the wave had rolled his ankle. I'm alive. Sakuatsu called, taking in deep breaths. Just go, the wind knocked out of me. And Samu? I don't know. Sakuatsu looked across from him as he saw Osamu, unconscious, sitting on the ground. Samu? Sakuatsu continued to breathe strangely as he crawled over to Osamu. Is he okay? I don't know. He's unconscious. Sakuatsu checked Osamu out as he noticed he had an injury on the back of his head. He hit his head. Well, that's not good. What do we do? How am I supposed to know? You're the health weirdo. About bacteria and crap like that. This is a whole new realm. Sakuatsu had trouble getting his breathing back to normal as he tried to wake up Osamu. Okay. Let me think. Can you exit the cave and go find help? I could. I messed up my ankle though. Then I can. And you can come back here. Sakuatsu was about to get up as he felt a shock of pain go through his whole body. Sakuatsu? Coming. Sakuatsu was about to try and get up again as they both heard the sound of water coming towards them. Another wave. What? Block his airways and hang on. Let's hope we don't get swept away. Sakuatsu put his hand over Osamu's mouth and nose as he grabbed onto the wall behind them, putting his back against it as he held onto Osamu. Another huge wave came tumbling through the cave, pushing Sakuatsu and Osamu against the wall again, and pushing Matsuhana further towards the entrance of the cave. Matsuhana once again held onto the ground to stop himself from getting swept away. Matsuhana turned around to find that he could no longer see Sakuatsu or Osamu, and could barely hear Sakuatsu. You okay? Yeah, but my back keeps taking a beating. That's bad. No duh. What do I do when he wakes up? Keep him talking. He could be concussed. Shouldn't you come back so I can exit the cave? No. I'm already closer. I'll head to the entrance and get help. Matsuhana used the side of the cave to climb up as he started hopping towards the front of the cave. I hope there isn't another wave. I don't know how much more we can take of this. Matsuhana continued forwards, not being able to use his soaked phone as light, hoping that he would soon see the light of the entrance. Osamu. Sakuatsu. Matsuhana could barely hear the distinct voice of Atsumu calling. I'm getting closer. Matsuhana didn't like being in the dark silent cave. It scared him to be lacking a sense. I wish I had someone to talk to. Matsuhana? Matsuhana perked up as he heard his boyfriend's voice. Maki. Matsuhana yelled, hoping that Maki could hear him, but he didn't get a response. Damn. I don't like this. Maki always talks to me, Oikawa as well, and Iwaizumi will at least play music while we're walking. Even Sakuatsu and Osamu were trying. Silence is the worst form of torture. Matsuhana. Osamu. Kiyumi. Matsuhana. Anyone? I'm here. Matsuhana yelled as loudly as he could as he heard sudden silence. They stopped calling. Matsuhana made it a few more steps when he suddenly saw the light of the entrance of the cave, with two silhouettes standing in it. Matsuhana. Maki. Matsuhana started limping quicker to the entrance as Maki ran up to him and wrapped him in a one-armed hug. You're alive. Yeah, can't kill me that easily. Maki helped Matsuhana limp out of the cave, being met with an expectant Atsumu. Where? What the hell happened to you? Matsuhana looked at Atsumu's hand and Maki's arm now that he could actually see. Tree fell on us. He lied. I save your arm. Whatever, thanks. Yeah. What happened to you? Maki looked down at Matsuhana's swollen ankle as he shrugged. A wave knocked me off my feet. That's my job. Not the time. Atsumu stayed at the entrance of the cave, expecting Sakuatsu and Osamu to exit soon after. Where are they? Matsuhana? Where are my brother and boyfriend? Atsumu looked back at Matsuhana with tears in his eyes. They're coming. Osamu hit his head and fell unconscious and Sakusa hurt his back. And you left them? No, I came here for help. Let's go get them. Unless you can hold on to that cave wall for your life you can't go. Matsun looked at the two's hands and frowned. Fick. The trio heard heavy footsteps behind them as they turned around to see Futakachi running towards them, with Suna and Aona a few meters behind him limping over. See? I told you they'd. Where are the others? In the cave. Everyone paused as they watched a small wave of water exit the cave. Mew. Omi. The paramedics will arrive soon. Everyone stay put until that happens. I can help. No. Those waves can and will kill you. You're still. Futakachi shivered as he swayed back and forth. Injured. You're injured. Suna, you're still recovering from being crushed. Aona can barely walk. And those two can't use their hands. I'll go for them. Exclamation mark. Aona stood in front of Futakachi. I'm fine. I need to go get them. Futakachi ran into the cave as Suna looked up at Aona. What? He's not okay. Who? Any of them. Except Futakachi. That's wrong. What do you mean? I don't think Futakachi is okay. He had to be okay. Think about it. He's hypothermia. Yeah. How? He's been outside in the rain the most. With cold winds and being wet already lowers your temperature. Not to mention none of us are dressed for the cold. And he's been running around helping us so much that he can't even consider himself. He was dropping pieces of wood earlier. He can't hold on to the walls. He's going to get himself killed. With Sakusa and Osamu. Sakusa and Osamu had been hit with one other wave since Matsun left to go find help. Wake up, Samu. Sakusa was getting angry that nothing was working. I am. Osamu muttered something as Sakusa looked over at him and shook his shoulder. Stop. Osamu's eyes shot open as he grabbed Sakusa's arms. Sorry. Everything hurts. Osamu leaned against the wall with Sakusa, closing his eyes again. Well, you did hit your head. Yet I can feel that. Sakusa poked Osamu's face to keep his eyes open. Let me sleep. Can't. I have to make sure you stay awake. But I'm so tired. Sucks for you. You're stuck with me. Sakusa kept poking Osamu as Osamu tried to bat his hand away. Where is everyone? Well, Matsun went to get help and I'm next to you. No, I mean where is like Tsumu and Suna and the others we came with? I don't know. Oh, weren't we just with them? How hard did you hit that head of yours? Do you remember walking into the cave? Kinda. Great. Sakusa stopped poking Osamu as he realized they could finally start making their way out of the cave. Stand up. Sakusa patted Osamu's shoulder as Osamu nodded, attempting to get himself up. Oh, please let me not have injured my back. What? Nothing. Sakusa, with the help of the cave wall, stood up without too much pain in his back. That's good. Whoa, your back is bleeding. Huh? That's intense. Sakusa realized he couldn't feel if he was bleeding or not, due to being already soaked. It looks worse than it is. Sakusa put Osamu's arm over his shoulder as the two started walking towards the entrance. Where are we going? To safety. Okay. I just really hope another wave doesn't come. Wave? How disoriented are you? Very. I can barely see. Well, from what I know that is very bad. Yeah, I'd believe it. Sakusa. Osamu. Osamu jumped at the loud echoes as Sakusa held on to him tightly, afraid that if either of them fell they wouldn't get back up. Are you in there? We're here. So loud. Cover your ears then. Osamu looked over to Sakusa as he moved his arm, which Sakusa was holding. Then just suffer. I hate you. Yep. What's new? The level of hatred I have for you. Let's go. Sakusa. Stay back. If another wave comes you'll be in trouble. Futakachi stopped in his tracks as he finally got a moment to breathe. We're on our way. Do you need my help? No. Stay there. Okay. Futakachi took a few steps back as he breathed and he felt how badly his hands and feet hurt. I can't hold on to anything. Futakachi's hands had gotten stiff and hard to move. Futakachi. Suna. You're hypothermic. Get your butt back here. Oh, shit. Am I? You can't hold on if a wave comes. Aona yelled this very loudly, so much so that Osamu and Sakusa heard it. Aona? Is that even his voice? I think so. I feel like you're asking the wrong person. Fair enough. It could have been Suna yelling and you would have asked if it was me. My head hurts. I'm aware. Are you too sure you can make it back? Yeah. Futakachi looked down at himself and then towards the way Osamu and Sakusa were and then towards the entrance. If I stay down here, at this point, I'll be more of a hindrance. But I promised to help them. Futakachi, come back. Futakachi's eyes widened hearing Atsumu's voice. They'll be okay. Yeah. If they need help, Suna and I are still capable of moving and clinging to the walls. Okay. Futakachi started walking towards the entrance of the cave. Are we there yet? Oh my god. If you want to get there quicker, walk quicker. I can't. I'm too tired. If you pass out on me, I will leave you here to die. Mean. But true. Sakusa kept checking behind him, paranoid that another wave was going to come and ruin all of their progress. There's nothing behind us. Just keep looking forwards. Just keep walking. Just don't stop moving. Sakusa continued to help Osamu move as they finally saw the dim light that came out of the cave entrance. Finally. Atsumu. Suna. Futakachi. Sakusa yelled with all his might as he saw two shadows appear in the entrance light. Omi. You two are insane. Suna and Atsumu started running up to the pair as Sakusa and Osamu heard the dreaded noise of a wave coming up behind them. Run. Huh? Sakusa was about to start running as he felt his foot get caught and trip on something. He fell face first onto the ground as Osamu looked down at him. Sakusa? Run. Don't come in here. Sakusa was having trouble getting back up due to his fatigue and pain, which led Osamu to quickly pick Sakusa up fireman style and run. Why? Don't. Suna grabbed Atsumu by the collar as they both turned around and walked out of the cave. Where did this strength come from? Nowhere. You could barely walk. Still can't, but running requires less stabilizing and more going until you fall. Can you even tell where we're going? Not even a little, but straight seems correct. Sakusa and Osamu made their way out of the cave right before a tiny wave of water exited the wave. It wasn't big, but it horrified Sakusa. Omi. Mew. You're alive. Suna ran over to Osamu as Atsumu helped Sakusa off. Osamu fell to his knees and into Suna as Atsumu gasped at the sight of Sakusa's back. You're back. It's. Aona walked towards Sakusa and patted Atsumu's shoulder. Let me see. Ow. Aona bent down and took Sakusa's shirt off to reveal a bruised and battered back, full of long and short scratches. What the hell? It's mostly superficial. I'm worried about nerve damage. Could we do like my hand but on his back? Atsumu showed his hand and what Futakachi had done to keep the joints from moving. Yes, I guess that may work. I just have some first aid knowledge. Just get like 4 long sticks and vines. Who can do that? Aona looked around, knowing he couldn't do it since he could barely move his feet. Atsumu couldn't because he wasn't going to leave Sakusa's side or be able to carry any sticks with his crushed hand. Maki couldn't do it since he couldn't move his arm and Matsun's ankle continued to swell from hurting it, so they were a no-go. Futkachi would have been a good option, but his hands had gotten too stiff and was shivering violently. He looked over to Suna, who was trying to keep Osamu talking as he let Oso rest on his lap. Suna. Yes? Can you go to the forest and get me 4 long sticks and a long vine? I can, but you can't let Mew close his eyes. If he goes to sleep, Don't worry. Matsun and Maki can help with that. Suna got up as Maki and Matsun made their way over to Osamu. Okay. Suna started running to the forest as he felt a burning pain in his lungs. Ow ow ow. He slowed himself down as he made it to the entrance. Okay, 1 stick, 2 stick, 3 stick, long vine, 4 stick. Suna took his materials back to the group as he handed them to Aona. Thanks. No problem. Suna walked back to Osamu as he placed Osamu's head back in his lap. Aona was working on Sakusa's makeshift brace as Futakachi suddenly stood up. You hear that? No? Shush. The group stood in silence as they heard a faint siren in the distance. They're coming. Who? The emergency responders that I called. Thank goodness. We're saved. What a ruined trip. I wouldn't say that yet. Maybe we'll be fine. Sure. Because our broken bones and bruises are nothing. Casts are nothing. The sirens continued to get louder until the group could finally see the lights in the distance. Here. Futakachi waved up and down as the emergency car drove straight up to them. 4 paramedics rushed out of the 2 ambulances and towards the group. Who requires assistance? Aona pushed Sakusa towards one of the paramedics. Maki and Matsun pushed Futakachi towards another. One of the paramedics ran over to Suna and Osamu, and the last one went to Atsumu and Aona. What happened here? A test of courage. Your hand is broken. but there seems to be no other extreme injuries. That's good. Let me see your leg. The paramedic looked down at Aona's scraped and battered leg and touched it and moved it. You're lucky. ? There doesn't seem to be any internal damage, just some stitches around those bigger wounds. Let's add some wrapping. The paramedic took out some bandages as she started wrapping his leg. See on his head, it's wounded. Yeah. He most likely had a concussion, but he needs to go to the hospital to make sure nothing is internally damaged. Okay. And you? The paramedic looked at Suna, who shrugged and sighed. I was crushed by a house. Geez. Anything hurt? My lungs. You probably bruised them. You'll also need the hospital to make sure you don't need oxygen. Of course that happened. The paramedic took out a stethoscope to listen to Suna's breathing. You definitely have hypothermia. I'm aware. We have some extra clothes in the ambulance and blankets. Why don't you get some help from our driver? Okay. Futakachi walked away as Matsun and Maki looked at the paramedic. Can I examine your arm? It's broken. I can tell. I need to know how severely. Maki walked over to the paramedic and let him see his arm. Seems to just be shattered. Well, a tree did roll over it and crush it. Ow. Yeah. And you? Are you okay? Yep. Just a sprained ankle. You sure? Yeah. I know what a broken bone feels like. The paramedic shook his head as he walked over to Matsun and examined his ankle. Can you feel your feet? Yeah. Can you wiggle your toes? Yeah. But you feel shots of pain? Yeah. Okay. It could be the scrapes and such, but we need to take you in the ambulance to make sure. Okay. I have 2 that need to go to the hospital. I have 2 as well. I have 2 also. I have 1. Damn, am I the only one who doesn't need help? Don't brag. The group split into the 2 ambulances with the twins and their boyfriends in one ambulance and the others in the other ambulance. In Atsumu, Osamu, Sakusa, and Suna's ambulance. Osamu was still trying to be kept awake with Suna constantly looking over him as Atsumu held Sakusa's hand. I can officially say this was unexpected. Yeah. Really? I kinda expected this. No, you didn't. Well, I was scared for some reason. He's kind of right. Then something bad would happen every time he has a test in school. It does. I always get a failing grade. Have you tried studying? Never heard of it. Of course not. Neither have you. I don't need to. I'm naturally smart. Tell that to the tree that fell on you after creaking for several minutes. Whatever. You stayed in a shabby house. We were worried about lightning. Osamu leaned over to Sakusa as he whispered. We didn't make any dumb decisions and we still ended up worse off. I know. It's sad. Truly. In Matsuhana, Hanamaki, Aona, and Futakachi's ambulance. Matsun and Maki were sitting on the floor cuddling with Futakachi on a stretcher covered in blankets with Aona right next to him. This is gonna be a weird story. Oika's gonna laugh his butt off. Iwazumi's gonna call us dumb. You were. I know you tried to choose the best option, but you are all idiots. We couldn't even tell if there was a storm. Oh. Were the waves not loud enough for you in the cave? We were talking. We were fighting. Suna and I were debating our options. So what? You got closer as friends because of your near-death experiences. Good for you. You almost died. You did too though. If Aona and Suna didn't stop you, you would have died. I never said I wasn't wrong too. Let's just say, we're thankful towards you and those we were with. After several scans and stitches, it was found that no one was mortally injured. Osamu only had a concussion. Sakusa did not have any nerve damage. Maki and Atsumu didn't have internal bleeding. Futakachi didn't hurt any part of his body. And Suna only needed to be on oxygen for a day to help the healing process. They had to cut the vacation short due to their injuries. However, they got an all-expenses-paid vacation back to the island from the hotel as an apology for the hotel clerk's suggestion to go and play in such a dangerous place without warning them properly. In the end, the winner of Test of Courage was never named. However, they each had their own person who saved them. That deserved the title. Fin. Hope you enjoyed the video. The next video will be either a random one-shot or the next part of the Their Toddlers series. Exciting news. I have a TikTok. I do fun little videos drawing the Haikyuu ships. So if you'd like to see those, the link is in the description below. I have a Discord server. You can join with the link in the description below. Also, I have an Instagram if you'd like to follow. There is a link in the description below. I usually just post random pictures I draw or pictures from my videos. If you'd like to support me, and maybe buy me a coffee to keep me awake for my late night editing sessions. There is a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support.